Okay, Obosh, Obosh Ox. Let's see how this goes. So, I mean, the theory is I think I can basically outgrind almost any fair deck, but of course, tempo could be a little bit of a concern sometimes. But I think that the essential idea here, and this is just a crazy kind of idea, but I mean, we basically max out on all the playable discard outlets, at least the ones that aren't like I don't know, the ones that are synergistic with Obosh, or at least don't conflict with Obosh. But also like that Insolent Neonate, that card that sacrifices to draw a card and discard a card. That's not quite worth it most of the time, but I think Epicure is because it's doesn't have to sacrifice to do its business. Plus, it also drains them for 1 life, which is not bad. Plus, it also uh yeah, plus we get to use its ability without actually having to sacrifice it, which is obviously pretty nice. And I mean, this could be Ragavan, but the reality is, number one, it's kind of nice to have some budget options. But honestly, I think this deck, maybe that's not even number one. Maybe number one is one of the things about some of these Obosh versions is you don't have a ton of real estate in the sideboard to work with anyway, because a lot of the best sideboard cards just happen to be, you know, 2 converted mana cost for whatever reason. Uh, a lot of them, at least, like Ratchet Bomb and whatnot, and Chalice, which is 0, I guess. But so instead of playing, yeah. So anyway, I think Gemstone Caverns is a pretty good way to accelerate when we need it, and sometimes we don't. In which case, just having a package like this is probably going to be where it's at anyway. And yeah, so I think another nice advantage about Ragavan. The thing is, Ragavan heavily incentivizes us to have at least 16 red sources on turn 1 to make sure we don't miss out on being able to play at turn 1 to accelerate into turn 3, because that's one of the main advantages to Ragavan anyway, is to just really put a lot of pressure on, which obviously we kind of miss out period in this build. But on the other hand, since we're less incentivized to drop a Ragavan turn 1, we get to play Field of Ruin, because sure, we only have 12 red sources to play on turn 1, but we're not necessarily completely dying to play something on turn 1, period, no matter what anyway. So yeah. Yeah, what else to say? Is there anything else? Is there any other thoughts to say before we get into this league? I don't think so. But I will say that I played a little bit with similar versions. I did lose once to a Urza Saga, a Jund Sagavan type deck, which I don't think is a bad matchup per se, but they just happened to always see their sagas early, I think, in all 3 games, and I didn't always see Magus of the Moon in all of those games. Obviously, game 1, I didn't even have it in the main deck. So that's why I'm kind of testing out Field of Ruin, is that it'll make me a little less soft to Urza Saga tokens kind of overwhelming me early in the game. At least that's the hope. Not that I was too particularly vulnerable, but just that I hate getting cheesed out by decks that I otherwise have a really great matchup against. So we'll see how well this does. As you can see, I've actually been I know I haven't posted in a while, actually, so my apologies to my fans who have been waiting for some new content. But as you can see, I've really been trying to see what works in the new metagame, and I've actually racked up a few trophies, and I've got some interesting ideas floating around. All right, let's take this to the gameplay, and I just definitely got to get another video here, so I hope you all enjoy this, and I think this should be fun. Take care. Okay, match 1, and are we on the play? No, we're on the draw. So we're going to have to do a post-league on this one, but the rest are live commented, for better or for worse. And let's see. Oh, it's a Crashing Footfalls deck. Yes, if I remember correctly, this should be interesting. Yeah. Not a lot of pressure to necessarily hold up Lightning Bolt for obvious reasons, so might as well just deploy the Soul Guide. Use this to draw a card, because hey, why not? Might as well deploy our Den while we can. Crashing Footfalls. And let's see, okay, tap on our stuff. Let's see. Alright, well, I guess we're going to deploy Seasoned Pyromancer. My thinking here is we might draw a red source and then be able to back up our stuff with Lightning Bolt, but, you know, it doesn't happen. And not only that, but, yeah, this was not good. I kind of wish I just deployed a Bonecrusher at this point. But the problem with these versions, with what do you call it, with Leyline Binding, is that those are an easy answer to Bonecrusher. This is a little bit crushing, if you will, to have to double pitch like this. I think Epicure was obviously a reasonable pitch. I'm going to do this on the upkeep since it looks like they're holding up Force Negation. I think they still Force Negation. Yep, we'll actually force them to use it on their turn. So something to keep in mind. I'm not sure that we actually can steal this one, but you never know. Forcing them to tap on their turn, it's little things like that obviously they can matter, but I don't think it will in the end. Nope. God. Okay, yeah, let's go. This is the second one, the second game of the first match. Let's go. This hand, yeah, so I think we had to mulligan the first hand, obviously, and Flame Slash is going to be a pretty... I'm not going to say Flame Slash is going to win us the game. Honestly, this is a dicey hand to deal with, but okay, so they tap us down. Okay, whatever. Well, double Flame Slash. You know, I'm kind of, in retrospect, wondering why I didn't deploy the Spikefield. I guess I'm looking for good pitches with you know, but as it just so turns out, I'm kind of incentivized to Field of Ruin, and it turns out they don't have a basic planes, even though you'd think they would. We get to double Flame Slash, which is it gives us something to work with, and I think that, yeah, strip mining them like this. We're normally not supposed to be able to be the strip mine deck here. We're not playing the strip mine deck. We just happen to play Field of Ruin, but I guess that's one nice thing about Field of Ruin is sometimes you get to pretend you're the strip mine deck with relatively little. I'm just going to deploy Ox, you know, because at the end of the day, this just churns through our deck more, and as you can see, it's more to do next turn. As long as these Rhino tokens are spaced out to a reasonable extent. So they're trying to play the tempo game, because it's reached the point where I can absolutely outgrind them if the game goes long enough. Let's get rid of the double Ox, okay. This one. And Fable. And I think I should be set up to start recurring the Oxes. See, this is where the whole deck is starting to work a little bit like a well-oiled machine, where these Oxes can really do a lot of good work. So I just really don't get blown up by a removal spell here, and I don't. Thank goodness. They deal with that. They tear that, and that's fine. I'm not gonna try to use the Spikefield Hazard. I guess I will discard it, and I get to play this. So all in all, not bad. I'm not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination, but now suddenly I am kind of feeling like I'm out of the woods. I might not be, but, you know, because they have more tokens, but I am doing what I need to do, and I'm hoping they block the token, but I think they have to block both of these. Okay, they get rid of the Ox, it's fine. Alright, so I will actually be able to deal with both of these. I think I'm in a pretty good spot here. And then I get to play Seasoned Pyromancer, yada yada yada. I maybe shouldn't have tapped exactly like that, just hitting these ley lines by charging up enough. Okay, I like it. I like it. Okay. I'm ready. Get to try to win. Yeah, and not bad, because then that's 8 damage period. I could have also attacked the ley line, but this means if they created tokens, they trade. Okay. Okay, match one. Now this is the third game here, and let's see what we can do here. We got our Obosh, and oh yeah, I forgot to go over the sideboarding. Let me put a quick pause to this. So here's the thing. Obviously, we played Field of Ruin in the first game. I don't think Field of Ruin on the play on the draw is nearly as good as on the play. So I think that's all we really did. Oh yeah, and we took out the Soul Guides for Magus of the Moon. You probably saw the Magus of the Moon in game 2. Well, we took out the Soul Guides for those. Same deal here, but we also swapped the Gemstones for the Field of Ruins. And as we can see in this game, I think stealing the play is worth losing out the Field of Runes. Even though the Field of Runes were super good last game, the reality is that yeah, number one, they're also not gonna fall for the Field of Rune tricks as much. I got a feeling this is gonna eat a ley line, but you know, maybe we set up well enough with the Magus. Okay, well, similar idea. So, I'm not sure if that's better or worse than ley line, to be honest. Okay, but we get to do a cool trick here. Watch. We play the Magus. Not sure what they do here in response. Okay, they do this in response, which they didn't necessarily need to. But check this out, and this is a trick I really like. There's one reason to bring in Magus, despite the fact that it's easy for them to burn it. Bam! Magus is more of a turn 4 card in this deck, and this is really what you want to be angling for. Is you want to, on turn 4, deploy Magus, and then holding priority, obviously, before you do anything else. You drop the Blast Zone on 0 counters, and you know, I mean, at some point we're gonna have to deal with our own Magus to be able to use the Blast Zone on 0, but it's not necessarily as difficult as you might think. As you can see, we just unlocked our Blast Zone. I think we're gonna quad block here. Okay, because I was thinking they might destroy at least one, but they didn't. We're gonna deploy, yeah, and then we're gonna do the same trick with Blast Zone, and you know, yeah, I think we're gonna have to hold up. Okay, so they're gonna play Brazen Borrower. This was kind of like the better of the two worlds, because if they played more Rhinos, we would have had to deploy Bonecrusher, but you know, so instead we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this on their upkeep. The reason why is that they can force a negation without having 2 blue mana if we do it on our turn, but if we wait till their turn, they just can't force a negation, period, and then we probably just lose. Okay, we're gonna hopefully draw some kind of removal or something. Let's see. I think that qualifies as removal or something. Let's see. Ow. So, at this point, I think I'm just giving up on the Magus. I want to be able to continue turning through my deck. At this point, I either just kind of pull ahead in the card advantage race or not, and I definitely need to zap this Brazen Borrower. Since they do have maximum mana at their disposal, I'm just going to do this now in case they have Force Negation but not another blue card, for example. So they could cast in their upkeep, in which case I probably die because I take a hit, and maybe with just one more burn spell. It's a little too dicey. Now, this is where I think I make a little bit of a mistake, because I don't think I want to be... I think the difference between a Voldaren Epicure and just a 1/1 token is not that great. And this way, I'm actually... Yeah, I almost actually put myself in a situation where I was going to lose, because if they had... I could have protected myself from a Violent Outburst if they had it. Oh, never mind. I guess I already could have. Oh yeah, so maybe the Voldaren Epicure was kind of free. I still had 4 mana, my bad. So I guess that wasn't necessarily a mistake. Let's see, I think this is a Fury. As long as we draw one more burn spell for this inevitable Brazen Borrower token, I think we've more or less turned the corner. We draw another Bugbear. Yeah, I just didn't think that the Bugbear is going to be as important at this point. Okay. Yeah, and we do have this. Oh yeah, because why am I holding up the Blast Zone? Yeah, because of the Crashing Footfalls. So this way, we have our choice. We can either flashback the Seasoned Pyro tokens to block the Fury, which it looks like that's what we're going to do. Very odd that they didn't go after Giant. I was thinking they might have Fire and Ice, and they were going to fire the 2 tokens, but they still probably should have gotten after the Giant. But anyway. Alright, cool stuff. And I think this is where it's just GG. Because they have 1 card in their hand, and unless it's another Leyline or another Fire Ice, which they already missed their opportunity to tap it down. Yeah, I think they seem to have forgotten that Brazen Borrower doesn't actually block ground creatures. Well, we take it down against the Crashing Footfall decks, and I'm telling you right now, while I still wouldn't say we're favored, as you can see, the multicolor version, look, people ask me, like, how on earth do we beat Rhinos? Look, if you're talking Timur, I feel ya. It's just not a great matchup. It's maybe like 80-20 in their favor. It's like 20-80 against us, if that makes sense. Like, we're heavy underdogs. I don't know, man. This version might be more like 40-60. It might even be like 45-55. I think we're a slight dog, but it's not. It feels similar to Burn. Like, Burn, we're a slight dog, but it's very winnable. And just don't give up hope, man. Like, just play super tight. Not that I could have played tighter, so I'm not going to say like we won this because we played super tight. I'm not even necessarily saying we played super tight, but I'm just saying the tighter you play, the better chance that you can make up that you can make up that gap where for whatever reason, and maybe I'll try to analyze this more to figure exactly why this is, but for whatever reason I'm not getting stomped by the 5 color or more like 4 color with an incidental Xander's Lounge sort of thing. But I'm just not getting stomped by the 4-color Rhinos deck, even when it had Urion in it, which you'd think Urion would be would make it even more like insurmountable. But I was actually already feeling like the Urion version before that was banned was surprisingly winnable. And I feel like, honestly, the Urion version might have been like 40-60. We might have been like 40-60 dog. Maybe this version is more like 45-55 dog, because I do think we're a little bit better positioned with this version too. But there was odd kind of clunkinesses about the Urion version too. So it still could end up being a wash, because we can't pretend like going to 80 cards is absolute zero downside at all. But at the same time, we also can't, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say, but maybe one day I'll try to analyze this in more detail to figure out exactly why it is that I feel like I'm not getting stomped by the 4-color version like I was with the Timur version. But for whatever reason, I'm just not. For whatever reason, and it could be partially maybe because they only play one basic for us, but there's got to be more to it than just that. Because if I remember correctly, they played 2 in the Timur version. That can't be. Sometimes some versions I think still only played 1 and 1, but they have more or less the same amount of basic lands. I don't know. Look, I'll think about this more later. I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get to the next match. But I'll think about this some more. So because it's never kind of enough for me to just sort of like say, hey, it's like a wash matchup, because ultimately they might be making certain mistakes, and it's possible that this is still a really terrible matchup, but for reasons that may or may not be permanent, both that are that could be idiosyncratic to our opponent, and or could be variance in our favor. I mean, even though I feel like I've played enough matches where I don't think I can purely write this off as having a string of good luck, although it still is certainly in the realm of possibility. But until I have like a rational explanation for what exactly is going on, I don't ever solely go with empirical data, if that makes sense. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to get into the whole empiricism thing again. All right, anyway, take care, everybody. All right. Match 2. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's keep it, and let's see where this takes us. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha 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 ha. Yeah, anyway. So, what can we say before the match starts? Well, Field of Ruin didn't screw us over last game. Only mulligan to 5, so that's interesting. I'm getting strong Hammer Time vibes. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I mean, since they're so low on cards, I think normally I would have just led with Spikefield. But considering that, because like in game 1, honestly, I feel like we have to take a few chances. Okay. I don't know if this makes that big of a difference in sequencing, but I'm kind of hoping they drop like an Ornithopter or something so we can make it a 2-for-2 with the Fury. If not, I'll just Lightning Bolt in a turn, but I kind of would prefer to have the Bolt up. We can still hold up the Spikefield for the Inkmoth, though, so there's that. We do have to hit this, though, just in case they have Caldera, because we'll probably just lose in short order if they do. But we can play Spikefield, hold up Spikefield. Epicure would be a nice deploy, but considering that we would just insta-lose to Inkmoth Nexus and this Colossus Hammer that's in their hand, I kind of like the idea of, not insta-losing, but maybe it's just me. I mean, insta-losing has its advantages too. Yeah, they're so low on cards, I back them up with this decision. Unless they got some trick I'm not aware of, I hope it's not going to work out for them, but I obviously back them up. I think you got to take your chances with situations like these when you're in a spot like this. So yeah, not sure what else to say. I think I'm going to take this opportunity to deploy my Seasoned Pyromancer. It's actually a tough call. The thing is, I think sooner or later I'm going to have to tap out, because holding up 2 mana is, I think, just a little too difficult. Epicure is nice, but I'm going to discard it together with Ox for obvious reasons. Well, I think if we can survive 1 turn without them deploying a hammer, which if we draw a Blast Zone should bail us out from that situation anyway, I think this will be good. No. Okay, well now they got a hammer. Hopefully they don't have a creature to equip it to. But if so, I've got some blockers. So we just have to dodge a... This is the thing about Hammer Time, man, is all they need is is one Cigar to Aid, one hammer, one what do you call it? It's just Nettlecyst. That's a good sign. Not that Nettlecyst is a nice card, but just that it is a lot less bad than like a what's it called? Shadow Spear plus Colossus Hammer type situation. Do I want to test my sanity again? I'm gonna say probably yes. Well, let's attack first. Let's attack first, yeah. I like Fury, but I think I'm gonna ditch it. I think I have to ditch the Bonecrusher too. Holding up 2 mana is just difficult. What I really need to do is I really need to hit a Blast Zone just to feel really secure. You know what I mean? There we go. Hit the Blast Zone. I think I don't want to get complacent, but I feel like we probably clinched it, and clinching game 1 against Hammer Time is huge. I feel extremely favored if I can clinch game 1, because game 1 is significantly harder for obvious reasons than games 2 and 3. I could do something about this, but I would rather them not draw a card. And considering that we know if I wasn't sure what the last card in their hand was, and I was concerned that it might have been Black Forge, whatever it's called, then I might have gone for it. The only thing about this though is I don't like the Jig being up and them knowing that we've got Blast Zone. But I got to give my opponent some credit. A lot of people are familiar with my kind of general sort of deck nowadays. So I have to assume on some level they know I'm packing Blast Zones. It's kind of my thing. And as much as I'd love to say it's entirely because of you Hammer players, it's not. I'm not only doing this to try to have a better Hammer matchup. Although I'm not going to lie, the fact that I actually feel like I probably or may have I don't want to be too arrogant or anything. I mean, the fact that I feel like I can have a favorable matchup with extremely tight play against Hammer Time because of Blast Zone is obviously not. It's not something that doesn't factor into my decision to play it or not. It's just that I found it to have an enormous amount of utility in a lot of matchups, not just Hammer Time. And I would still probably main deck it if not for Hammer Time, but obviously it being such a huge factor in the Hammer Time matchup is obviously a good thing, and it's obviously another reason for me to play it main. So let's ditch the Soul Guides. I think they're not really packing main deck, whatever you want to call it. This is the problem. I feel like I need field, and I feel like I need Blast Zone. So unfortunately, even though this is a matchup where stealing the play could be useful, at the expense of losing utility from these very important utility lands, I just don't know that I can do it. In fact, I don't think I can. I don't know that I can do it, and I don't think I can do it. So now we got to choose what else to ditch. Now, this is the tricky thing. Actually, maybe it's not that tricky. It's Ox. Ox is obviously huge if I can get it. If I can get the Ox game going, but I just feel like this is a matchup where I don't feel like card advantage. I don't feel like this matchup is about card advantage. I think this matchup is about having the right answers at the right time. That's what I think it is. I mean, obviously the fact that we are favored, I think, if the game goes long, is huge, and it's why we, I believe, have a good matchup. But since let's put it this way, I don't think we need Ox to be favored in the long game. If we did, I would probably keep it in. But since we don't, and since I think that since we already should be pretty favored if the game goes long, I would rather err on the side of having more flexibility in the early game, which I think is where we're the most vulnerable for obvious reasons. Okay, there's the Saga. Unfortunately, neither Field nor Magus can do much about that until they can at least make one token, but at least hopefully I can prevent them from Sigarda aiding up. There is that. What's to say? Having the Shattering Spree is good. I wish I had more red sources to fully take advantage, but it's never going to be a bad thing, per se. In case I got Keldra, I gotta do it. This could come back to bite me, but we shall see. And I think I'm going to deploy the Blast Zone, and my reasoning is as follows. Because I'm probably going to deploy Magus next turn, and I want these Blast Zones to have a counter on them. If I deploy these under Magus, then they're going to not have a counter on them. If they don't have a counter on them, then well, then the effect is delayed. Let's put it that way. Man, the problem is they can immediately equip the sword now and go to town. If I deploy the Magus. So maybe I want to do Field of Ruin actually. I mean, it's not the end of the world though, even if they immediately shoot the Magus with the sword, because at least I still kind of 2-for-1 them by deploying the Magus. And at least this way, yeah, because if I use the Field of Ruin, it wouldn't actually take out the Urza Saga. So we'll see. Yep, they drew a land. It's okay. I've got the Shattering Spree, which can be a 2-for-1, so which hopefully will catch us back up in the 2-for-1, you know, whatever you want to call it. Yep. Sword of Fire and Ice. Why would you not? Why would I not take the free block here? I know you got Sword of Fire and Ice, bud. That's why? Okay, fair enough, I guess. But now I can use the Blast Zone. Not bad. Okay, well I think I'm going to want to hit this and Pithing Needle, and hopefully they don't have Mana Tithe or Blacksmith Skill, which they might. Not gonna lie, that could put me in a tough spot, but I don't think I can pass up trying to go for. I guess Mana Tithe won't matter, but Blacksmith Skill would be a beating. And it's kind of looking like maybe that's what they have. Or maybe they suckered me into it with the block. But let's see. Yeah, I think I got it. I'd say Pithing Needle if I were you. But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of sitting there waiting for another Shattering Spree, but who knows when that's going to come. We shall see. Oh. Well, okay. Okay, got it. I gotcha. Maybe that was the better Blacksmith Skill target. Okay. Alrighty. Yep. I'm probably going to need another Shattering Spree, or it's not going to be good. Blacksmith Skill, man. Yeah. The problem is this gives pro red, and this is one of the cases where having the synthesizer helps out. Dang, man, that sucked. It's amazing. That was a pretty good opening hand we had, but some well-timed Blacksmith Skulls. But here's the thing you got to keep in mind. They're not always going to have Sigarda's Aid in their opening hand. I know it feels like they do, but trust me, they only have it against you. I'm guessing against the pros, that just magically doesn't happen a lot, as much. I'm just joking. I mean, it's just, how can I say? Let's put it this way. You're going to take it for granted that they just never have Sigarda's Aid in their hand, I mean. Kind of like if you play Hammer Time, trust me, it's going to feel like you never have it in your opening hand. But, if you win like a big tournament or something and you face Hammer Time multiple times, you're just going to take it for granted like it's the natural state of things if they never have Sigarda's Aid in their opening hand. So you're going to feel totally legit that you probably won most, if not all, of those matchups. So what am I trying to get at here? Don't know. I think I'm going to keep my options open, so I'm going to hold on to Spikefield for now. But anyway, the point is, yeah. No, they don't have Sigarda's Aid. See, that's the thing. If I didn't point it out, would I have registered it as much? On some level, I would have, because obviously it affects how I play. But anyway, let's see here. Field of Ruin could affect which land they deploy, but honestly, I feel like holding the Blast Zone is a little bit better. Huh? They deployed this even in the face of Field of Ruin. I guess I don't necessarily blame them. Might Blacksmith Skill it up. This is why I think I'm gonna deploy the Field of Ruin on their turn, so that way at least they won't hopefully have 3 mana to do their thing. Something else I could do is I could also deploy the Fable, but I don't want them to even like get 1 token out of it. I don't know, maybe that's being greedy. Let's do this here. I also need to fix my mana too, to be fair, so I guess there you go, right? That's fine, but see, they can't use it for the mana now. So yeah. Oh, I forgot though. I don't get my land out of this. Oh crap. Maybe I should have deployed Fable. Oh man. Now I'm feeling bad for not deploying Spikefield earlier. Having a Fable down would have been much better. But I don't know. At least I can stomp the token before it grows any larger. At least that's the hope. And Blacksmith's skill is so annoying. I think they're probably going to go get what do you call it? Well, they're probably going to get Pithing Needle, but it's okay. I still, let's put it this way: I didn't want them to get a mana off of Springleaf Drum if that's what they were angling for, if that makes sense. All right, let's see. Oh, there's my Shattering Spree, which I'm not going to deploy that just yet. Hopefully I don't get manatized. Ow! Okay, good. I gave the little Michael Jackson scream to make it sound like I knew it was coming before it happened, if it happened. Because there's kind of no downside. If it doesn't happen, it's like, you know, whatever. But if it happens, it's like, oh man, he saw it coming. Oh, dang. What does this mean? What's my plan? What's my plan? As long as I can get an attack off, I effectively have 5 mana. Okay, 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 okay. You're okay. You know, I think I'm going to attack, and I think I hopefully will be able to take care of this, the Paladin if they block. Let us see. Let us see, indeed. So I don't think I necessarily need another Fable. I could be wrong, but or another Epicure for that matter. Let's power through our deck here. I could also, yeah, let's just clear the way, shall we? But then I'm vulnerable? No, am I? Yeah, no, I don't think I am. Well, actually, I still might be vulnerable. No, they need Sigarda's aid. Well, I hope this doesn't come back to bite me. In my experience, it probably will. And that's it's not gonna be a nice thing at all. But check it out here. Check it out now. Third strike, yo. All right. Get the needle. Yeah. Alrighty. Alrighty. Like it. I'm loving it. And now I have Lightning Bolt up. So as long as I can survive one more turn, I think I'm in a pretty good spot. But if they drop land, Sigarda's Aid. So here's the thing. Just Sigarda's Aid alone isn't enough. Because Sigarda's Aid Hammer, they need to drop a land, Sigarda's Aid Hammer, and have Blacksmith's skill to back it up. Oh, I've been there before. They got a lot of cards in their hand, which makes me nervous. But if we can dodge that one bullet, I don't want to celebrate too early, but I think we're in the clear, especially since we've cleared the toughest hurdle, which is Pithing Needle. So let us see. Let us see. Because eventually we're going to start having recurring Furies, courtesy of Fable the Mirrorbreaker. Ho ho ho, Hushbringer. Okay, well, Hushbringer's a nice one. That will help with the recurring Furies. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Why didn't I do this in response? Well, the treasure token might be super useful. I don't know what else to say. Okay. They're going to let me get an attack off? Okay. Not bad. I think I'm going to hold up Blast Zone. Still just think it's kind of better form. Question is I don't know, man. Blacksmith's skill, it concerns me. Concerns me. I'm not. Plus, I think I can hold on to the Lightning Bolt maybe until I want the Fury to be fired off. I don't know. Just a thought. Okay, not bad. I like giving them more draw steps to draw another blacksmith skill, but I want to hold up the Blaststone activation just in case. I am probably going to go for end of turn lightning bolt on the Hushbringer though, just in case. I'm beginning to think I definitely should have fired this off the treasure token, but I kind of like conserving treasure tokens too. There is that. There is that. Not sure what else to say. There is that. Let's see here. I can tank one hit. It's fine. Alright, well, I'm going to try to hit it. See what happens here. I can pay for 3 if they have Black Ghost Mill on the... Yeah, I saw that coming from a mile away. But that's fine. I don't think I necessarily need Fury to be in the clear here. Okay. I can kind of copy the Voldaren Epicures, although I'm not necessarily sure that's so incredibly necessary. I do like the idea of crashing in with multiple Shaman tokens, though. Alrighty. Yeah, I can deploy a lot of pressure here. Arguably, maybe I should have even deployed a Fury, but let's see. Oh yeah, that doesn't trigger either. It's okay. I'll just trigger that as a 1/1. No bigs. No bigs. Alrighty, let's see here. Could attack for up to 12 next turn. Actually, could attack for... I can possibly copy the Fury to go hog wild, as they say. Let's go. What is this? Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas. Not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting that, but I have to imagine I'm still in a pretty good spot. I like it. I can actually put Obosh to hand, and... Ooh, but they're gonna die. I don't know if they realize, but yeah, there's no way unless they have another white mana and another blocker, but even then, it's like, really? They sense their Hushbringer is preventing a Fury. The problem is I don't think they have a choice. I mean, as long as they can live another day to potentially attack me with Inkmoth and kill me with 10 poison, that's what matters, doesn't it? So the question is, how risky do I want to get? And the answer is not too super risky. I'm just going to attack with the Bugbear, which this already might be too much, to be honest, for them to handle. At least I hope it is, unless I'm missing something. Let's go. 5, 6, 7. Nope, 7. They're not actually dead yet. Oh, not 7, 6. My bad. Oh no, 7, but then they gained a life off a Hushbringer. I mean, since I've also got Blast Zone as a backup, I guess once again they're going to need Land Drop, they're going to need Sigarda's Aid, they're going to need Hammer, and they're going to need Blacksmith Skill. Okay, I was worried that was Sigarda's Aid. Okay, well they're still going to need... Okay. They're still going to need a Blacksmith Skill. Yep. Okay, and that's how you do it against Hammer Time. Okay, match 3. Obosh, I choose you. Oh ho 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 ho. Let's see. What is going on here? Well, I'm definitely gonna keep this. It's not perfect hand, things can go wrong, but oh, it's burn. Oh, it's maybe not burn. It's been a while. I usually don't see Mistress Bobble and burn if they're not playing Luris, but you know, pumps for the Swift Spear can be a thing. The thing to keep in mind about Mistress Bauble and Burn is that it has a tendency to result in you drawing more lands overall, and it's not as good as just having extra lands in the beginning, as far as ensuring you're hitting your land drops. If I could hold up a Lightning Bolt, I would consider doing that heavily, but since I can't, I might as well just deploy the Epicure. I don't think it's worth bluffing. If they hit this, then they're probably a Ragavan deck. Okay, a Ragavan deck or like some kind of form of Prowess, which makes sense. Mistress Bauble's great with Prowess creatures. It's not an auto-include in Prowess by any means, but it is good with the Prowess creatures, let's put it that way. Okay. It's going to be kind of hard, I think, for them to put 2 types into the graveyard. So I'm going to try to do this now before. And maybe this is jumping the gun, but if they deploy a fetch land next turn, the possibility of them turning this into a 3/3 in response is much greater. They may not be playing Ragavan. Prowess decks don't need Ragavan or want it as much as you know, mid-rangey type decks. Yeah, if we can get them to blow a lightning bolt on our face, the lava dart is less likely to find a target. Let's see. Okay, that's still not gonna make it a 3/3. If they flashback lava dart, you know, I guess that's a consideration, right? They did flashback lava dart. Ah. So the question is do we want to deploy Fury? I think I will. I mean, they had to sacrifice a decent amount to make this happen. I don't want to give them extra life, and I also want to be able to deploy a Bonecrusher next turn. Because one of the things is like a lot of times it feels like once you are in a position to apply offense against an aggressive deck, a lot of times you end up having the favorable position. You know, as they say, the best defense is a good offense. The sooner we can actually get an offensive game going. Well, that lightning bolt. We may want to dodge that. If I had known that lightning bolt would be coming, I might have waited a turn for that, which I guess I can still do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put Obosh to hand. The reason why is that I again, like the best defense is a good offense of sorts, and I want to be able to start applying legitimate pressure with the Bonecrusher Giant. I can't do that with the lightning bolt hitting it. Oh, well, hopefully they can't deploy the lightning bolt. That's probably wishful thinking. Oh, maybe it's not. Because you'd think they would pump it, wouldn't you? But anyway, let's see. Let's see. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Flame Slash. Okay, and you guessed it, I'm deploying Bonecrusher. It's less certain I can curve out to Obosh because I didn't deploy the Spikefield, but I think Flame Slash getting that Swiftspear off the table was preferable. Plus, we may have been incentivized not to deploy the Soul Guide next turn, and I think we have to, because modern Prowess decks tend to play, well, I guess we could have prevented against that if we deployed this earlier, but it's still okay. We'll be able to protect our Obosh against that. Ooh. I don't think it gets that much better, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. I think we're going to do this. Yeah, why not? I don't think they have too many 1 toughness. If I was sure they had Ragavan, that could be another story, but maybe that was jumping the gun. But all right, let's yeah, definitely Lava Dart. That's what we want to do. Let's go. Ooh. So I guess we could have saved our Spikefield Hazard for this, but maybe it's okay. Alrighty. Oh, what we can do is we can try to bait attacking into the Obosh. That's what we can do. Let's see. Alrighty. We're risking eating another Unholy Heat, but I think it's worth. At least we'll only take 1 damage in theory. I think it's worth trying to bait the the chump attack. Oh, and it's kind of looking like that's going to happen. Yeah, not bad, if I do say so myself. Ah ha ha ha. Ah ha ha ha. Interesting. They're accumulating card types in their graveyard. It's happening. It is happening. Okay. Well, they lose an instant. Well, that's easy enough to put in their graveyard. I'm going to deploy something else if they want to go 3/3. Lightning Bolt. I mean, if we soaked up 2 damage from them sacrificing a land, I'll take it. But I think they had to take that risk, so I'm not blaming them by any stretch of the imagination, not at all. Easy to think that I am, but I am not. And of course, we want to draw maximum cards. Always a good thing. Not, I mean, not literally always the optimal play, but certainly always. There's a limit to how bad drawing a bunch of extra cards is, or can be. Let's put it that way. Sometimes it's definitely not the #1 priority, but it is very rare. Oh, they do have Ragavan. That's good to know. So, bye-bye Obosh, I think. Let's see. Sorcery, land, creature. Ooh, not yet. I think that's a wrap. Yep, that's a wrap. Well, we cannot take it for granted that we're going to win this this matchup, but I like our chances. Okay, we lose the ability to fix if it's not in our opening hand, but Field of Ruin has limited utility anyway, so this is the ideal swap for Gemstone Caverns on the draw. So we will do that. Underworld Cookbook is a consideration. This is one of the reasons I like Cookbook, because unlike other life gain options, this can also return like a Seasoned Pyromancer or an Ox or a Fury or something to our hand, which can be game-breaking in its own right. And considering that they can absolutely be in a position to burn us out, I think this is where we want to be. The question is do we take out an Epicure or do we take out an Ox? And as paradoxical as it might seem, because Epicure is one of our enablers for Ox, I think we still want to put this in because we're swapping one enabler for another. This is still a good way to get Ox into our graveyard, and it's just, we lose some chump blocking ability, but with Lava Dart in the mix, I don't think that's super reliable anyway. Honestly, I might even want 4 cookbooks for 4 Epicures if I had them, but since I don't, let's do this. Okay, I get to start the game off with the Cavern. And although I just sang the praise for Cookbook, I think given this configuration of events, I think I'm ditching the Cookbook. That's just, you know, I've only got 1 left in the deck now, but we'll see. Okay. 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 Let's see here. Da, 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 da. La 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 la. Let's see here. Well, I'm gonna go for it. I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but I mean, it's kind of now or never. At least I'm gonna force them to use. Okay, good. I hate what's it called, mutagenic growth, because it's just a tempo swing, but we didn't have it there, so that's good for us. In my experience, this means they probably have a whole bunch of other creatures, but we do have Blast Zone, so at least if they're one mana creatures, which, okay, good. Okay, so they're not going to get full value out of that. That's good for us. That's a sure thing. I don't like signaling the Blast Zone, but there's a very good chance I'm going to want to discard that mountain, so let's do this. I may not discard the mountain, but there's a good chance that I will. You don't need lands as much if you're connecting with this guy, but unfortunately we don't know for sure if this is going to be connecting. But we'll see. The main thing is I gotta start drawing into to Lantern because of Underworld Breach. Underworld Breach just goes absolutely nuts. Absolute nuts. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? They tapped the mana wrong? What's going on here? What is going on? Ho 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 ho. Ah, okay. Well, not bad. Let's see here. Okay, I think I'm discarding the Den of the Bugbears. And probably the Fable too, as much as it breaks my heart. Wish I could have discarded these. So this is what I'm going to do. I want to be able to play Fury next turn, and maybe this is a massive mistake. But anyway, yeah, maybe I should have discarded the other land. No, then I wouldn't have had any land to play. Right there. But obviously Den would have been better if I would have known, but I didn't know if I was going to draw a Flame Slash or something. We'll see. Okay. Okay. Whoa. What have we got here? Ho. What have we got here? I'm taking a lot of damage. If they... Okay. Blood Moon. Blood Moon's interesting. I'm not particularly... Okay, fair enough. Whew, taking 3 damage. It's not where ideally I want to be, but anyway. Alright, let's go. If my Fury survives and I get recurring Furies, which is kind of scary, not gonna lie. Well, scary for them, hopefully. I mean, maybe it's so scary it scares even me, the user, kind of like the A-bomb, you know. Some things are so terrifying that they scare even the user. I don't know if Fury's that scary with the reflection of Kiki Chiki, but it's certainly I guess it is, because I guess they're dead next turn if they can't deal with it. So all right, cool stuff. Already, so match 4. Hey, we're on a 3-0 win streak. I find that whenever I trophy, it's always when I'm kind of thinking about trophying the least. So let's honestly, I probably already jinxed it by mentioning it. That being said, I think this hand is the very definition of reasonable. Maybe not. Maybe reasonable, but yeah, it also has a lantern in it for good measure. But I like being able to start off with the Epicure. Let's see. The question is do we want to deploy a Spikefield next turn? Yeah, probably so. Whew. Oh, snap. It's been a while. It's like Rakdos Burn or something. Dang, man. I'm not in a position, unfortunately, to let this actually come into play. Because I don't have a clean answer. I don't have Bolt, Flame Slash, even Fury. So I hope you're happy. I need 2 red sources at least, but I don't know. Oof. All right. Well. It's possible I should have played one or the other of these cards, but I don't know. We shall see. I can always ditch them. I have a feeling that Field of Rune's going to be on the chopping block, but we'll see. Oh, it's this deck. Okay, so 3/3, so that's not the most unbelievably scary thing ever. Honestly, Field of Ruin is pretty good, so but maybe I want to take. No, let's just do that. That could be wrong. Okay, maybe this is a. Do I want to use 2 cards on it? Let's offer the trade to them. See if they take it. I don't think they will. Yeah, smart cookies. Let's do this. Glad I held on to at least 1 Spikefield. But I don't know, though. That 2 for winning myself is not exactly where I want to be, but we have the ability to recoup it because of our Ox. So we shall see. We shall see. And I also needed to have 2 red mana for that. So I guess that was where we wanted to be. Let's see. La 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 la. La 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 la. Hopefully I draw like I got a feeling that they've got stubborn denial, so gotta factor that in. Ooh, I guess now we get to find out. Let's see. Why would they not have stubborn denial, right? Maybe I should have led with Field of Ruin actually. Ooh, Gaia's Might. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting that. I don't know. This could be a mistake, but I'm gonna play Bonecrusher. It's possible I should have led on Field of Ruin, but I want to be efficient with my mana. I don't know. Maybe Ow! I could try double blocking. Ow! I gotta try double blocking. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Okay, I guess it's not gonna work. Oh, trample's not good. Dang, that went from bad to worse. Alright. Gaia's Might's a little scary. As long as I can Fire Blast or something, that Scion of Draco. Let's see. As long as they don't have an island or a swamp. Or a mountain. Which they might not. If I hit Bloodstained Mire, they might not. This is not where I want to be, though. But I guess it's better than dying, right? Let's see what they can fetch here. Nothing. I guess I got exactly one turn to draw a Flame Slash or a Fury. Flames of Fury. If they draw any burn spell. Giganta. Alright, let's see. Whoa, 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 whoa. Was it meant to be? No, it was not. Maybe I should have deployed the Fable earlier. Alright, let's see. Magus is going to be probably better than Soul Guide. Although Epicure is a little... It depends. Depends how much I'm worried about them having Renin 6. But Lantern is not the ideal Renin 6 hate anyway. Honestly, just pressuring it is probably better, because the problem with Lantern is you don't get card advantage from cracking it like you do. I shouldn't say card advantage, but the fact that you don't draw a card when you crack it to draw when you crack it, yeah. The fact that you have to choose between drawing a card and exiling the graveyard, it means that it's not a very favorable exchange with preventing them from getting a land with Renin 6, whereas it kind of is with Relic. So even the fact that it's not even that great against the best reason to have it in definitely mitigates in favor of me just having another 1/1 creature, which, at least can hopefully hold the fort. And alright, well, I've seen worse. I have definitely seen worse, my friends. Let's see here. La 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 la. Okay, they mullied. You take this opportunity. You never know if they've got some kind of discard somewhere in the mix, although maybe I needed to hold that up for Ragavan just in case. Yeah, in retrospect, I probably should have held that up and played it next turn. Yeah, because look, what am I going to do holding 2 lands up? Nothing. But I guess I intimidated Drashing Ragavan a little bit more, but who cares about intimidation? You want to actually be able to stop things. Okay, well, no Dashing Raga for you, I guess. Alright. Well, I guess I'll deploy the Magus. I mean, it's probably just going to eat a burn spell, but at least that's a burn spell not going to my face, right? And if they were relying on Leyline of Binding, then hopefully, because they don't actually have enough mana for that, because this limp that chokes their mana. Oh, maybe Leyline was their jam. Okay, let's see how. Okay, fair enough. But at least I have to imagine that slowed them down a little bit. So that's not bad. I'll take that, right? Huh. I think I'm gonna try to take their mana down a peg. Island, swamp, mountain. Maybe I actually fixed their mana. That would suck. That was the obvious card to hit anyway. Okay, 4/4. I can definitely deal with that. Okay. I guess don't mind if I do, right? I mean, isn't this kind of what it's here for? Isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? Let's see. See if the guys might. If so, I got Flame Slash as a backup. Okay, good. Alrighty. I like it. I like it so far, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, well they got their mana, but they're not necessarily imposing their will on us to the same degree as they were last game. But they got a good mix of card types. I can't fault them for that one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, good thing we got the Flame Slash. Or Fury, if we can hardcast it. Let's see. Okay, I think I'd rather just do this and then deploy the old Bonecrusher. I guess they couldn't have done Gosmite off the plains last turn. Silly me. Alright, let's see. And oh, what? I miscounted my mana. I totally could have played Fury. Well, maybe it's better anyway if they had some kind of solution. I had a backup. Okay, okay. Oh, and on top of that, they took 2 life, which they wouldn't have if they did this. Okay, so now this one I'm going to Fury. I don't particularly see a big downside to using Fury this time. Not that there was really that much last time, although they could have had like God's Willing or something that something off of one plains that could have put me in a dicey spot if they could have protected their card. I smell another Fury. Okay. I smell another Fury. Yeah. Alrighty. And then next turn, maybe I deploy Fable and Pyro. Let's see. So far, I gotta say, these Field of Ruins, they've been pretty premium. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, let's go. Yada, yada, yada. Yada, yada, yada. Yada, yada. Yada. I know discarding a Flame Slash can be a little dicey in case they've got like a Scion or Draco or something, but I just don't. This is just such a massive good use of my mana. It's just hard for me to pass this up, but you know, maybe I should have put Obosh to hand. I'm not gonna lie, that's a legit possibility. Oh, okay, let's go to next game then. Works too. And Blast Zone is a little tricky because I need to get online quick enough for this to do its thing. Even though Blast Zone is actually pretty good. Now, Blast Zone's too important for dealing with stuff like a Territorial Kavu, isn't it? I don't know. It's just so slow at being able to do that. Maybe I do just want Gemstone Caverns. Nah. Sometimes Gemstone Caverns I also just opt not to. Depending on how many lands I have in my hand, sometimes I just opt not to use the mana acceleration. I don't think I need mana acceleration. For example, this hand's gonna have to be mulligan, and it has nothing to do with not being fast enough. It just doesn't have lands. All right. See, I have to keep this hand, and I guess I will. You know what? Fable's good, but I'm gonna actually keep Ox because I have a pretty good pitch here in the form of Seasoned Pyromancer. Also, I'm liking keeping the Blast Zone because Blast Zone is going to be better anytime I draw it from here on out. Yeah, I'm going to do this. This also rewards me if I draw another den and I hold up a Spikefield for Dashing Ragavan. It seems minimal, but I'm going to try to learn from a mistake last game. Let's see. If I don't draw another land, I'll just plus it's a good pitch. If I draw like another land, then I want to be able to Seasoned Pyromancer. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Da 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 da. La 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 la. Let's see here. I'm smelling a Territorial Kavu. Yeah, or a Neshoba thingy. Okay, that is what it is. Okay, definitely have to do this. I don't have to, I guess, but I would recommend it. So this is going to be my pitch next turn, is the Ox. Double Ox. Let's see. I don't like showing that my guard is down. Sometimes showing a guard is down is worse. I don't know, we'll see. So I got all 5 lands. Good thing I got the Fury. Well, there's no way I'm allowing that to happen. Alrighty. I guess I could have. I could have allowed that to happen. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this could be a disaster if I don't draw a red card, but I am confident enough that I can draw a red card. Okay, I will take it. And this is where having Ox as my backup is very important, because I'm gonna need a refill. Also, having Obosh available is pretty nice too. It gives me something to stabilize with. Although a Tribal Flames will just but they're in the spot where Tribal Flamesing me is definitely on the menu. Ouch. Well, this time I'm gonna just let it go. I don't get burned out. Let's see here. Plus, I can do this. This is cool too. I'm a little bit worried about a sudden Bloodbraid Elf. And that's the thing. Bloodbraid Elf into Lightning Bolt on one of my elementals. So I don't know. Did you get to the hand? That would okay. I think that's about as good as I could have hoped for. Let's see here. Maybe I didn't want to show my card so early, but I like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I put the Field of Ruin in my graveyard, you gotta have at least 9 total cards in your graveyard. You know, Ox plus 8 other cards to use its escape. We got 5, 6 if we count the Field of Ruin, 7 if they deal with Obosh. Alrighty. Well, match 5. Oh, can I keep this hand? Man, this would be a risk. I'm feeling frisky. Most fair matchups, I like my chances, just because of the insane grind potential here. There still are some weaknesses though, even in fair matchups. I don't exactly have a ton of anti-pro red options. Blystone's basically it. But, you know, we'll see. Okay. I find that the multicolor Crashing Footfall decks are not as intimidating as the Timur versions. For whatever reason, the card selection just does not seem to be as intimidating. Not sure exactly why. All right. Well, let's do this. Yeah, unfortunately though, this hand is not particularly, it's definitely not, let's just say it's not my first choice for combating 4/4 trample tokens. It's not terrible though. Who said it was terrible? I didn't say it was terrible, but I'm just saying it's not my first choice. That's all. All right, let's do this here. I'm not just running the Voldaren Epicure just into a 4/4 trample for no reason. Ho ho ho. Well, now I know the coast is clear at least. It's not like I liked it getting Force Negation, but as far as I know, they can't obviously play Ragavan when they've got when they're playing the Cascade strategy. So anyway, let's see. Okay, well, if they're on suspending the stuff, I will take my chances. I really, really will. Let's see here. Another force. This is a somewhat intimidating card. I'm not gonna lie. I would not necessarily blame them. Looks like they are. They are gonna force it. Okay, no. I like it though because it increases my chances. Like I don't necessarily have to. I may want to pitch the Epicure though, but honestly, the 1 damage is hard to pass up. But not gonna lie, I was thinking about just holding it to pitch. If I can connect with the Goblin Token, they're probably gonna burn it though. I feel like I got a fairly good chance to draw into a land next turn. We'll see. Okay. 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 It's very possible I should have just used the blood token in a turn to maximize the chances of. I don't know though. I don't know though. Let's see. That's not bad though. That is really, really not bad. Should I discard the Bonecrusher even? You know, paradoxically, I think the answer is yes. And hopefully I'm rewarded for that. Let's see. They play main deck subtlety, okay. I might be able to steal game 1, which is huge because, needless to say, game 1 is not where I'm absolutely best positioned. But let's see. Not bad. Touché. But if I can get my Fable game going, that'd be pretty good. And if I can squeeze in some damage with the Epicures, that's also not bad. Let's see here. Ooh, Scion of Draco. I think that's going to be a better Flame Slash target. I guess I can deal with both now that I think about it. Yeah, I guess we'll do this. Force negation? Say it ain't so. Oh! Alright, well I still have a ace up my sleeve. I don't know if ace is the right word, but we're gonna squeeze in this damage. I don't care what y'all say. Maybe I'll attack. I'll take the trade if they want to offer it. I don't think there's first strike or anything, do they? Yeah, they see it. They see it from a mile away. I can't fool them. Let's make sure we do Hazard. Alrighty. Yeah, I wish I could have dealt with both of them, but you know, let's see. I mean, they're living life on the edge, man. They're living life on the edge. I'll tell you that much. I will tell you that much. Let's see. Two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay, this might actually be pretty good. If I draw another land off of this, I might be good to go. Not the land I needed, though. Alrighty. I can kind of pot shot a bit with the Voldaren Epicures. Oh, this is dicey, though. They got to put the pressure on, man. I know they're at 6, but they got to put the pressure. So man, if I could steal this game, I want to steal it. I want to steal it. I just don't know if I can. It's tough. It's tough, man. It's tough. Okay. It's tough, man. I don't think I tapped that right. Okay. I can copy the Ox. That is far, far from the worst thing ever. They will have to block? Not quite. Man, I don't like to be in this spot. I want to copy the Ox now, but it's not really gonna... Okay. I think I have to copy the Ox on their upkeep. Alright, hopefully this... I just don't want them to draw something. If they draw like a removal spell for this, okay, good. Boom! Is that going to be enough? Who knows? In theory, I've got 2 Oxes to block. I could potentially finish off one of these with a lightning bolt. I don't know, man. That's not good. That's not good. So I'm probably going to get rid of the real one, I would imagine. Ooh, that's mega not good. Shoot, man, shoot. Shoot, man. Dang it. I was so close, man. I hate this frickin' deck. The main thing I hate about it is it's just it just draws whatever it frickin' needs whenever it wants, but that's neither here nor there. God, stupid shit. Hate this deck. I had that game. Just drew exactly what they needed. I actually think we can beat them, but the problem is it requires them to not have a bunch of cascade spells in their hand, which happens sometimes. But I think we're like 40% instead of like 20% or some whatever the abysmal number was before. This is a very beatable version of the deck, and I have full confidence in ourselves, and I'm gonna keep this hand. God, I even had Ox copies. You know what? Maybe I should have waited actually to copy the Ox. See, the problem is, yeah, that was all on me. I'm sorry, folks. I threw that game. What was I thinking? I should have. I guess what I was thinking is, but it was 3 toughness. There wasn't necessarily. I guess Leyline of Binding. That would have been like a disaster. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. If I would have, but as it turns out, if I would have waited, I would have had 2 blockers. But maybe they had like a Fire Ice or something anyway, and I would have taken 2 damage trample minimum. Maybe not. I might not have finished. I had to take 2 damage trample. Let's see. They're probably gonna Fire Ice me. That's fine. Somehow this deck kind of just exudes arrogance. I'm not sure exactly why. It's like, ooh, you can't beat me, Yugi. I don't know. So we know that the Rhinos cometh. We know that. Considering this fact of life, let's actually deploy Seasoned Pyromancer. Normally, I would err on the side of playing Bonecrusher because it's a cleaner block. They can't like psych you out as much. But hear me out here. Because we have the lightning bolt. Yeah, and I'm gonna hold up the lightning bolt because we know Rhinos are coming. And if I can block with an elemental token and then finish off with a lightning bolt, that would be pretty good. Honestly, I might just quad block. They'll kill one of my creatures. But there is some value to soaking up some damage anyway, and I don't know. I think I'm going to quad block. Quad blocking might also mess with their tempo a little bit. Because, for example, they could hold up a Force of Negation if I don't do this. We want to do this in the damage step, I think. Okay, that's a little not expected. Okay. Not exactly expected, but not the craziest thing either. Alrighty. Let's go. Okay. Ha 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 ha. What you gonna do? I think they got Force Negation. I mean, what else could it be? Which would have been a disaster if I blocked with just a token. See what I mean? Get it out of their hand sooner or later. That's a little odd. I was not expecting that to just kind of happen. I am surprised that we're not seeing a subtlety come out, but you know, we'll see. Probably there's going to be another Crashing Footfalls or Violent Outburst, or you're going to call it. We do have a Bonecrusher as a blocker, so there's that. So there is that. They had to go down one card for the Leyline, and it's not like Leyline's going to stop our Ox from drawing the cards hard casting, so there's that. Alrighty. I can actually turn the corner here, it is possible, but I think I probably have to fade them deploying one more token for a little bit. As long as these are reasonably spaced out in time, I have tools to pick off these things and refill, even with my graveyard being disrupted. I like it when my opponent is forced to play Graveyard Hate against a deck that is not fundamentally built to revolve around the graveyard, if that makes sense. Okay. Little by little, go down 11. Let's see. Yada yada yada. Okay. Man, I got a feeling they got another one coming. That's bad news for me, man. That's bad news. It's bad news, especially this. This is just not going to cut it, man. It's just not going to cut it. If they got another one, I guess I'll have to scoop, because it's going to be exactly 11 damage. I can't. Okay, well, ooh, I dodged the bullet there. Ooh, I thought they had me. I thought they had me for sure. Unfortunately, this is probably going to eat a Force Negation, but I'm just do not try. Yeah. Just mess with their mana a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they got a ton of Furies in their hand. That would be bad, but at least I'll have some time before death inevitably catches up with me. As long as it's not 2 more Crashing Footfall tokens for now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in their hand, but whatever it is, as long as I have some time to do my thing. If it's end of turn Violent Outburst to Fairy bounce my Obosh on their turn, then, you know, GG's. Let's see. If I draw a Lightning Bolt, then I have some play in the joints, so to speak. Although, not a lot, actually, because I don't know, man. I'm going to hold the land, because I need to draw gas. I need to be mana efficient, too. Plus, if this eats Force Negation, then I probably just lose on the spot. Not because, like, I immediately die the next turn, although I probably do if it's Violent Outburst, so they already used 2. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's push the Feral Lightning Bolt on them, I guess. Well, again, I don't know what's going on. I'm guessing Fury. So if it's Fury, maybe Fury comes out. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, well, I guess they were saving that to bounce. I mean, fair enough, I guess. Fair enough. Maybe I can deploy the Fable now. Yeah, I'm going to deploy the Fable. So I'm going to start off by doing this. So I have to get a basic forest here. Or so I would think. They did not. It's a little odd. So I'm guessing they must have a burn spell. Okay, force negation. I can definitely see that coming from a mile away. Might as well hit my land drops then. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I shouldn't care too much about hitting my land drops. I don't know. Yep. Okay, so I had a lot of burn spells, but you know, if you think about it, I'm helping buy myself time from getting maybe burned out. I don't know. I don't know. So, dang it, man. That's like the worst one they could have drawn. They're actually running out of the Rhinos. Let's see here. They're running out of the Rhinos. Or maybe that's just wishful thinking. Yeah, that's fine. But that wasn't on 0 tokens, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Oh man, if only I had the ability to do both of these. How greedy do I want to be, man? How greedy do I want to be? I don't think I want to be that greedy. But man, being greedy, no, being greedy is really bad, especially since I'm down to 2. There's so many things that could go wrong, so let's do this here. Just see, do I want to hit the Teferi Time Raveler and... No, let's just hit a token. Let's not... I think one of the key things is always not to be greedy, but maybe that was being greedy. No, I think this was being less greedy. It's less like sudden death. Whew. I think if they attack with both, I block the Shardless Agent. If they attack with just the Rhino, I think I have to block the Rhino. I think. We think things. We think, therefore we are. Yeah, I think I gotta do this. I hate taking 1 damage trample. Alrighty. I don't like the way my Obosh is such a juicy bounce target. And if they got only 1 more Crashing Footfalls, if I'm not mistaken. Oh man, I hate this. It's so bogus. Well, I'm gonna try to go after the Teferi. I don't know about this one. I really don't, but that sucked. Especially since now they get to uptick, so I don't even... Yeah, Violent Outburst. Alright, GG's, I guess. Okay, post-league analysis here. What is the takeaway here? You know, so here's the thing. Actually, I was getting a little bit discouraged at the end there of the last match, but remember, we did actually pull out the upset, even if it was a little bit of a minor upset, so to speak, given my most recent experience against the Rhinos deck in match 1. If you've forgotten by now, which I did by the time I was in match 5. But yeah, we did pull out the win against Rhinos, albeit it was 2-1, whereas this last one was 0-2. But even though I took that 0-2 loss in the last one against Rhinos, I don't know if it's just me or not, folks, but I still think my point stands. That was not as one-sided of a 0-2 loss, even though the numbers look like it is. Like those games were much more winnable, even the ones that we lost in the last match. I think one of them I might have gotten stomped, but I think the other one, like, I don't know, it's just not as bad as Timur for some reason, and I still don't have the all-encompassing explanation. Although you can't rule out that one factor also might be that it is more vulnerable to moon effects. But since for a lot of reasons, we're leaning into Magus. One of the main reasons is that you know, there's so much Boseiju who endures all over the place, which, as you can see, even they were packing, which would have eaten a Blood Moon. I don't know, like it could go both ways, but as you can see, like it wasn't just Magus. They had the answers to Magus, and I think since those answers were like Brazen Borrower and to an extent Leyline Binding, but Leyline Binding would cost five or four mana if they have a moon, because they only have 2 basics, so they can only, well, I guess the mountain counts as a basic too, so it'll cost anywhere from like I guess it can't cost less than 4 because they can't cast it without white, and you know, the moon effects turn their lands to mountains, so that's a minimum of 4 because it reduces it by 2, 1 for the plains, 1 for the mountain. But Leyline Bindings is always going to be like 3 or 4 mana, so like but you know, yeah. Point is that they had the answers to Magus, so it's not whatever it was that was giving us a better matchup. It wasn't Magus. For a while, I was tinkering around with versions that didn't necessarily main deck Flame Slash. That could be part of it. I mean, Flame Slash obviously is not going to win us the Rhino matchup, but it certainly helps because it's a clean answer to at least one of the tokens, which is better than not having a clean answer to any token, which is kind of what happens when you don't play Flame Slash, although you still kind of have Fury, but Fury becomes a frickin' what is it, 1 for 3, because you have to use 2 cards to deal with half a card. I don't know. Maybe I guess it's like a 1 for 2.5 or something. You know. But anyway, this Fury is still an option, but it's I mean, plus, you know, Ox honestly may also be a difference in this particular version. But I felt this even in versions that didn't play Ox. We'll explore. Maybe that's for slightly different reasons. But Ox being both a clean block and being both a clean block for a token, and enabling us to really pull ahead, because we have to remember we didn't necessarily always outgrind the Rhinos deck, even when we withered the early Rhino Onslaught, because they still played a lot of the same stuff we did. Sometimes they played Seasoned Pyromancer, which, oh, you know what, that might be one of the main reasons. That might be one of the main reasons why we're not getting stomped by this deck as much. This deck doesn't seem to play Seasoned Pyromancer, the 4-color version. We might have just figured it out. Not every Rhinos deck played Seasoned Pyromancer, though, but I will say I think the ones that did were always the biggest problem. Because if they played Seasoned Pyromancer, a lot of times they kind of were playing a deck that kind of just outmaneuvered us on most of the same axis we were on, but not entirely, because obviously, even though they can play Blood Moon, we still obviously are a better Blood Moon deck, and we do obviously have more removal, and more early removal at that, so I have to imagine we have a better, I think we have a significantly better, actually, Hammer Time matchup. That's one of my analysis. I could be wrong, but I suspect we have a significantly better Hammer Time matchup than Rhinos. So I'm not necessarily saying Rhinos is a better deck in all ways, but I will say in a head-to-head matchup with Timur, especially the versions playing Seasoned Pyromancer, and it might mostly be Seasoned Pyromancer, but yeah, if they're playing Seasoned Pyromancer, then I think a lot of what's going on is that their deck tends to have a lot of the same kind of strengths we do in a heads-up matchup, not necessarily against all types of decks, you know, in the format, but in a heads-up against each other. Our decks have a lot of similar strengths. It's just their cards spit out kind of twice as many bodies. Like you know, we've got one Bonecrusher, they got Bone. Oh, that's another thing too. The Timur version plays Bonecrusher. Little things like that, you know, man. Little things like that. You can't downgrade it. And like the thing is, the combination of Trample, taking 2 life whenever we have to Flame Slash or even Lightning Bolt, a Bonecrusher on the other side, and the Flying Brazen Borrowers. It's very easy to for them to clinch, even if we start turning the corner. I think the bigger factor is the versions that play Seasoned Pyromancer, but I also realize that they don't seem to be playing Brazen Borrower in the 4-color version. So I'm not Brazen Borrower. They don't seem to be playing Bonecrusher. I think Bonecrusher is an underrated card, man. I'm telling you right now, and there's a reason why I've been in love with this card. Basically, ever since it printed, this is one of the reasons. Actually, Bonecrusher is one of the reasons, even before Seasoned Pyromancer, even before I discovered, because I think Seasoned Pyromancer ought to be printed. I'm not sure, but even before I started discovering just how phenomenal Seasoned Pyromancer was, of you know, how phenomenal it was. It was really Bonecrusher in many ways that convinced me that mono red mid range was possible. Because it's just the fact that it's removal. It's not the best removal ever. But you gotta remember, I was messing around with a Magma Jet a little bit in the past in certain previous burn versions, and even some sort of maybe testing the waters and sort of quasi mid rangey or Slay or Red Deck Wins, whatever you want to call them. You know, dipping my toes into non-bird red kind of takes. And the fact that I think that I was one of the few people that was really kind of gung ho on Magma Jet. Honestly, I still think Magma Jet's not half bad. I just think Bonecrusher is really just phenomenally better in most ways than Magma Jet. So anyway, long story short, Bonecrusher is even now I may not fully be appreciating just how much of a difference Bonecrusher makes in, for example, the heads up as well. So Bonecrusher, it is one. We can't rule out that it is probably one of the things that makes this possible, because it's not like I never tried, you know, branching out into more mid-rangey strategies with red. It's just that a lot of these tools just did not exist, as you can see. Obviously Flame Slash did, but like Fable didn't exist before. Seasoned Pyromancer didn't exist to, like, you know, obviously since forever. Bonecrusher, it's not new per se, but you know what I mean? Like, anyway, you get the idea. And of course Ox, but you know, or Fury. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. I hope you all enjoyed. I think Seasoned Pyromancer is one of the big things that gives it Timur that makes Timur more problematic, because again, it just tends to be, once they have Seasoned Pyromancer deck, they tend to end up playing very similar to us, just kind of spitting out more bodies. And the fact that they spit out more bodies is it gives them the edge. And when you have two decks butting heads where they do mostly the same thing, not all exactly the same thing, but where their strengths are very similar, except that one has a very, very clear and hard to circumvent edge, that's where you end up getting very lopsided matchups. And I think that's why the Timur version is such a problem. This version fights on a little bit of a different axis, and the fact that it fights on a little bit of a different axis, and one that is not like intrinsically impossible for us to overcome, I think it just gives us more wiggle room for a lot of different reasons. Although it's still hard to exactly put my finger on exactly why Seasoned Pyromancer makes such a big difference, but consistency is a thing too, because think about it, they play Seasoned Pyromancer to draw more cards, they draw into more of their Cascade spells. I don't know what to say exactly. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this, and I wish I could have got the trophy, but yeah, next time I guess. Yep, take care, everybody.